Hello guys, it is Teenage DC Fan back with another video, and in today's video I will be reviewing the latest episode of Arrow, titled Training Day. So I'm going to start off talking about I'm still not quite sure what to call it. Right now I'm pretty much just calling it the Flash Forward, because before they were doing flashbacks, but now it's in the future. So I'm not sure if I should call it flash forward, because that's the opposite of a flashback, or if I should literally just call it a time jump or something like that. But I'll just call it a flash forward for now, even though it sounds really stupid. But so I don't really care for the flash forward, so I'm just gonna do that first before I get to the good stuff. Okay, so the flash forward is all about William and Black Star. And basically, they are trying to get the audio to, one of those things, whatever the device was called that would play the recording that Felicity left for them. And then, so then Black Star tells William to stay put because she's gonna go talk to some of her friends, see if she can get this device. But then, of course, William spots it and then he buys it. And then he's like, oh, I feel so proud of myself, I did it, even without her help. And then, some girl bumps into her, and then when Black Star comes back, it's missing, because that girl stole it from her, and because the guy that sold the thing to him, sent that girl to go get it. So then, but Black Star went to go beat him up, but he had the, police on call. So then William came up with a plan to make a device that would hack into the systems of the comms of the cops, and they want to capture the vigilantes. So he says, canary sighting, wherever. So then Black Star goes and beats up Felix, the guy that sold them the device, and then they take it, and then they go listen to it, and basically, Felicity says that she can't believe that she's finally saying both of their names in the same sentence, and how much she cared about them and stuff. And then she said she gave out some coordinates for something, and then told them to get out of Star City and don't come looking for her. But obviously, they decide to ignore her, and they're gonna go looking for her. So they don't go find the rest of their team, they just go to the coordinates. Apparently, it takes them to the Glades. And yeah, that's pretty much it for them in this episode. Okay, so then on to the second main storyline. Laurel gets called to go to Slabside, and then Bronze Tiger wanted to talk to her because he informs her that Diaz is dead, and he knows exactly who it was, but obviously he wants something in return. So then he says that Oliver Queen promised him his freedom, and that he doesn't have his freedom yet, so he wants his freedom. And then Laurel explains that they're working on it and that they can't do it any faster. So then he says, well, if you bring me my son and bring him here, and so I can talk to him without a glass wall between us, then I'll tell you what you want to know. So then she brings his son. So yeah, then he talks to his son for a little bit, and then tells him to go in the cell, and that he'll be right with him to talk to him more. And then he reveals the information. So apparently, the murderer of Diaz walked right by his cell, and the police forgot to close the slot where they put in his meals, so he could see through, and he saw green leather. So when I was watching this, obviously my first thought was Oliver Queen, but he wouldn't do that. But then he says, but it wasn't Oliver Queen. It was the fake Green Arrow. So then that obviously means that it was a Miko Queen. And then at the end of the episode, they, Laurel calls in Miko, and I don't think they really know each other. But then, Laurel explains that she knows everything about her, and, she knows that she's the murderer of Diaz, and that, that she was gonna tell Oliver and stuff. And then apparently Miko knows that Laurel was Black Siren, and yeah, so that was cool. I enjoyed seeing Bronze Tiger back again. The fun fact: this is actually my second season of watching Arrow. So I never watched Arrow before last season, except for like certain episodes with Deathstroke, just because Deathstroke's cool. But yeah, I really like Bronze Tiger. Then on to the main story of the episode. Okay, so Team Arrow is working with the police, the SCPD, and they really struggle with this because there's so many rules that they have to follow. Like, for example, Felicity, she can't do any illegal hacking, so that makes things harder for her. And then, like, they can't use any of their weapons, they can't use any of their strategies or fight tactics. So they can't use their weapons or their suits. They have to wear police uniforms, and then obviously that throws them off because they're not used to wearing anything other than their uniforms and using their weapons. Like, Wild Dog, Renee, like he pretty much used the same weapon that they had to use anyway, and it was pretty similar for John too. And then Oliver, he's used to using a bow and arrow, but he had to use a gun. And yeah, so then they go in, and then Oliver gets tired of waiting for a warrant to because he knows that the Midas guy is guilty. So then he goes after him and interrogates him like the Green Arrow, and almost dunks his head in a barrel of acid, and they get it all caught on camera. So they get his confession caught on camera, but then they show it to the police, and then they don't care about the confession. They just care that he almost dunked his head in acid. I don't get this part. Like, I understand that they would be mad about the acid thing, but after seeing him confess, like, wouldn't they still arrest him? But they don't. And then later they go back to their old bunker, and then John shows up, and that's when they reveal to them that Felicity is pregnant. And then they decide to go get this Midas guy, but doing it by the law. So then they do that, they capture him, and the rest of the SCPD are involved, and they get him. So they succeed, and then they get a thing from the mayor, saying that she's going to repeal the anti-vigilante thing. So they're going to be like the special operatives of the SCPD. They're basically going back to normal when they were just Team Arrow working alone, working by their own rules. But like they're still kind of working for the SCPD. So it'll be interesting. I really like the cop show vibes I got from this, because I really like cop shows, so this was pretty cool. And yeah, and that's pretty much it, other than the fact that, Dinah can't use her cry anymore, her canary cry, but she's still gonna be the black canary. So that's fine, that's nothing too big. But anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this episode down in the comments below. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video so I can bestow all my DC knowledge upon you.